From the first ever 2-color arm mold on a Minecraft minifigure to an Ender Dragon helmet that looks exactly like the game, LEGO's added a lot of quiet updates to Minecraft over the years. And unless you've been keeping track of them since the very beginning, chances are you've missed a lot of them. So today, I'm going to show you 27 updates LEGO's added to Minecraft, starting with one of the coolest pieces in the entire theme. In the Ender Dragon and End Ship set from 2024, the Ender Dragon head isn't just a display piece. You can actually put it on your minifigures like a helmet. This is exactly how it works in the actual game. When you defeat the Ender Dragon, you can mount its head on a wall, or you can wear it on your head, and LEGO replicated that perfectly. But that's not the only cool minifigure update in the Minecraft theme, because the Parrot Houses set from 2025 has the first ever Minecraft minifigure with a 2-color arm mold. Now, this might not seem like a big deal at first, but 2-color arm molding is usually reserved for expensive or special figures. It's when LEGO molds 2 different colors of plastic into one piece, and it's way more expensive to make than just printing one solid colored arm. The fact that they used this technique on a random Minecraft minifigure shows how much the theme has evolved since it started back in 2012. And speaking of how much the theme has evolved, did you know LEGO and Minecraft almost made a video game before the first set even came out? Around 2011 to 2012, Mojang and the LEGO group were secretly working on a project codenamed Project Rex Kwon Do, which was officially called Brickcraft or Minecraft LEGO Edition. This was supposed to be a hybrid game where Minecraft blocks were made of actual LEGO bricks. The whole thing came to light in December of 2020 on the Bits and Bricks podcast, and apparently it was going to be a first-person shooter game where you could build with LEGO-style blocks in the Minecraft universe. But here's where it gets interesting. The project actually fell apart because of creative differences. Mojang wanted the bricks to look damaged and worn in the game to make it look more realistic, but LEGO refused. They didn't want their precious bricks to be shown getting damaged, even in a video game, and they were also worried about their family-friendly reputation, since this was supposed to be a shooter game. So instead of getting Brickcraft or Minecraft LEGO Edition, we got LEGO sets, and honestly, I'm kind of happy it happened like this, even though the game would have been really cool. Keeping the evolution going, let's talk about when Minecraft Big Figs first showed up, because these things completely changed the game for the theme. LEGO introduced Big Figs in 2 waves, and they're exactly what they sound like. More detailed figures that were way bigger than standard minifigures. Series 1 brought us the first oversized mobs and minifigures, and Series 2 expanded on that with even more options. Before Big Figs, every mob was either minifigure sized or built from bricks, which made the scale pretty inconsistent depending on the mob. Now we've got massive skeletons, huge creepers, and way more, all in this perfect in-between size that actually makes sense for Minecraft. It's one of those updates that seems obvious in hindsight, but at the time, it was a huge deal for the theme. Another big change was when the Steve minifigure got a massive update in 2024. In the Steve's Desert Expedition set, we got a completely new Steve design with updated printing and a fresh look. Now, truly, I have no idea why LEGO decided to do this. Obviously, Steve has looked the same pretty much forever, so I really don't know where LEGO got this face from. But the same set also gave us 2 smaller but really cool updates. First, the campfire got a total redesign, and the cactus did too. LEGO's been trying to figure out the best way to build cacti for years, and this set gave us a design that's at least kind of accurate to the one in game. To make one that's actually accurate, they'd probably have to make an entire mold for it, and LEGO's pretty stingy when it comes to molds, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, let's talk about zombie villagers for a second, because they got a huge upgrade in 2022 in the Abandoned Village set. The new zombie villager design is a night and day difference compared to the old one. The original zombie villager was pretty basic. It was basically just a zombie with a green villager's head, but the 2022 version has way more detail. The torso print is way better, the eyes are a lot more red, and one of them even gets a straw hat. It's such a massive improvement that when you put them side by side, the old one honestly looks kind of ridiculous. Speaking of improvements to hostile mobs, the witch got a pretty interesting update in the Pumpkin Farm set from 2023. The new witch in this set came with a hat that you could actually remove from her head. Before this, witch heads were molded with the hat attached, so you couldn't take it off without literally destroying the piece. But now you can pop the hat off and on whenever you want, which means we can turn Steve into a witch. But now I gotta talk about frogs, because LEGO's updated them a lot, and each version is better than the last. The first major update came in 2023 with the Swamp Adventure set, which introduced a completely new frog mold. This was a huge step up from whatever LEGO was doing before. The new mold actually looked like the frogs from Minecraft, but they didn't stop there. Later in 2023, the Pumpkin Farm set added a gray frog variant to the fleet. And then in 2024, the Frog House set gave us a bright green frog with even better detailing. So within the span of 2 years, LEGO went from basic frogs to having multiple colors and designs that all look incredible. Frogs weren't the only aquatic mob getting love though, because axolotls got a new color in 2023 as well. In Minecraft, axolotls come in 5 different colors, and LEGO's slowly been adding them to sets over time. They haven't quite gotten there yet, but hopefully we'll have all 5 really soon. If we're gonna talk about colors though, we have to mention sheep, because LEGO's been updating these guys a lot. The Crafting Box 4.0 set from 2023 had a new sheep with a blue-green color inside of it. Then again in 2023, they threw a pink sheep in the Animal Sanctuary set, but unfortunately it wasn't an actual figure like the blue one. But in 2024, LEGO added an orange sheep to the Windmill Farm set. Just like with axolotls, there are a few different color sheep in Minecraft, except there are way more than 5, so they've got a long way to go. But they're slowly but surely getting every color in the lineup. This next update is a little different though, because it was actually kind of a downgrade. In 2023, LEGO dropped the Bee Cottage set, and it came with a baby zombie minifigure. Now, this one is really hard to notice, but when you look at it next to the old baby zombie, you'll see that it's missing the pixels on its torso. Obviously, this isn't that big of a deal, but it's definitely weird that LEGO changed the mold to get rid of detail instead of giving it more. Anyways, a hostile mob that didn't get a downgrade are the Illagers. The Illager Desert Patrol set is the first set to include the new Illager banner, which is based on the banners that Illager patrols carry in the game. LEGO's used them in sets before, but they always had these 2 clips on top, which is obviously not how they look in game. So now that it's a clean tile, it matches the game a lot better. But it's not just the mobs that are getting updates. The main characters are too. The Nether Lava Battle set from 2025 has the first Alex minifigure with an angry face print. Before this, Alex was always smiling or had a neutral face, which didn't really make sense when you're supposed to be fighting mobs in the Nether. But now she's got a battle-ready face that actually matches the action these scenes are depicting. Speaking of the Nether, the zombie piglin finally got a proper update in 2025. The baby pig house set has the new and improved zombie piglin minifigure, which replaces the old zombie pigman design. This change actually happened in Minecraft itself back in 2020, when the Nether update replaced zombie pigmen with zombie piglins. LEGO took a few years to catch up, but now the minifigure actually looks like the current version of the mob. That same set also updated the regular pig print, which might seem minor, but it's actually pretty noticeable if you compare it to older versions. The new print has better shading, more detail, and just looks way more polished than the original version. It's one of those updates where if you don't have an old pig sitting next to the new one, you might not realize anything changed, but once you see them side by side, the difference is really obvious. Another animal like this are cats. In the Crafting Box 4.0 set, LEGO added a new cat color, and they also included a sitting version of an old cat. Then in 2025, the Mushroom House set gave us another new cat print with even more detail and better colors. With moves like these, it's obvious that LEGO knows they have a lot of variations to work through, so it's good to see that they're actually trying. Now let's talk about something that happened earlier in the theme's history, but still deserves attention: the expansion of cube head mobs. In 2017, LEGO introduced new cube heads that weren't just for creepers and zombies. We got a dark red magma cube, a witch head with an integrated hat, and the first transparent bright green slime cube. These were a quiet expansion of the cube mob system that started with basic slimes, and looking at what we have today, clearly this opened the floodgates in ways we didn't know were possible back then. Just like how slimes got their own mold, silverfish got their own mold too. Before this, there was no good way to build a silverfish in LEGO form. They're small, annoying, and kind of hard to translate into bricks. So LEGO didn't really have any choice but to make a mold instead. If you've ever mined into a stronghold and gotten swarmed by silverfish, you know how important it is to have these in your LEGO builds. They're not the flashiest mob, but having an accurate version is pretty satisfying. Another mob with an insanely accurate LEGO form is the Hoglin, specifically the new one in the Nether Portal Ambush set from 2024. Compared to the old Hoglin design, this one has way more life to it. LEGO completely changed the colors, the tusks, the face print, pretty much everything about this guy got an upgrade. The old Hoglin was clearly not the best looking mob, and another one that actually looked worse than this was the old Husk. The first Husk minifigure came out in the Creeper Mine set from 2019, and I think we can all agree that this design is just not it. There's barely any detail on the entire minifig, and it basically just looks like 3 different color browns put together. But in the Badlands Mineshaft set from 2024, everything changed. We got a completely new Husk design, and just like the Hoglin, it's better in every way. The faceplate and torso are way more detailed, the legs got a better color, like I said, literally everything got better. But wolves also got some love in 2024 in the Wolf Stronghold set, only it wasn't the wolf itself. This set introduced a new wolf shield that you can give to your minifigures, which could be a reference to how important wolves are as companions in Minecraft. Once you tame a wolf, it'll follow you around and help you fight mobs, so having a shield that represents them is a cool way to show that bond. And also, let's be for real, the design in general just looks sick. One thing I haven't really talked about though are plants, and the Trails and Tails update from 2023 gave LEGO a lot more room to work with. The biggest plants from this update were the torch flowers and the pitcher plant, and you can actually find them in the cherry blossom garden set from 2024. They aren't that accurate to the Minecraft version, since having something so small with that many colors is basically impossible in LEGO, but it's still cool to see LEGO keeping up with the new updates, even if it does take them a long time to make their version of it. Speaking of things that took a while to show up, the loom finally made its LEGO debut in the Windmill Farm set from 2024. In Minecraft, looms are essential for creating custom banners. You use them to apply patterns and designs to blank banners, which is super useful for decorating your base or marking territory. It's honestly kind of shocking that it took until 2024 for LEGO to make one, considering how important they are to the game. But now that we have one, you can actually build out a proper crafting area with all the stations you'd actually use in Minecraft. Another staple of Minecraft is the Nether portal, and in 2023, it got a completely new design in the armory set. Now, at first glance, you might actually think it looks worse than the old one, but the reason LEGO designed it this way was so they could give it a brand new play function. Now the portal swings open, which is really good for people who actually play with their Minecraft sets. The last thing I want to show you though is something you're really gonna like. In the Abandoned Village set from 2022, we got the first LEGO version of a campfire, and they made it look so much more accurate to the game, at least from the front. The fire pieces look really good, and even though they aren't on the sides, this is still one of my favorite updates in this entire video. It's one of the only non-living things in LEGO Minecraft that looks this accurate to its version from the game. I'm just sad they had to update it in the one I mentioned earlier. But what update surprised you the most? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.